Welcome to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township. You know, those government people that make regulations, laws, and ordinances that affect you out there.
That's right. And whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Addison Township, or Oxford Township, these are the people that you recently elected, and the committees and the commissions that make decisions that directly affect you, whether you chose to go to that meeting or not. And that's why we're here.
That, and because if you don't attend, there's plenty of humor that will show up.
That's right. Sometimes it sinks to the bottom, and sometimes it floats to the top.
Right. These political meetings and the politicians that make decisions for you out there, trust me, it is humorous at times.
You betcha.
Just check it out. And also, one other thing that we do here, at least one of us, is we spread rumors. That would be David doing that.
That's right. Only to be confirmed by him.
Right. So you want to pay really close attention here, because separate rumor from reality.
Yeah,
That's right. Okay.
Well, you've heard a lot about that fake news,
I have.
on the internet.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
We don't do fake news. We just do rumors.
Yeah, right. That's true. Well, we have a couple meetings that happened last week, and one was the Oxford Village DDA meeting.
Downtown Development
Downtown
Authority.
Development. Good. Got you trained
Yes.
already. Okay. Addison Township Parks and Recreation. This is the second one. And we'll hear all about the bears that hide behind the trees in the winter on that one. Shall we?
Good.
All right. Let's get with it then. Oxford Village DDA. Bill Dunn serves on that board. Sue Bassardit is the chairperson.
Have they had
for
any
DDA.
changes in personnel since the election?
Yes, they have. Matter of fact, they just had an appointment for treasurer, because there was a seat that was vacant. And we'll cover that when we get to it. Okay?
I was just ready to make a note.
Down the pipe, taking notes. Just stack them on top of that yellow stack that you have over there, the
Yeah.
notes, okay? You can do that?
I go by
Okay.
strata.
Strata, okay. Executive Director, of course, is Joe Frost, doing a great job out there. And let me see, equipment being installed.
What?
Brewery equipment. He talked about the brewery.
At the DDA?
Yeah, at the DDA meeting. He's making people...
Right at the DDA meeting?
Yeah, right there at the DDA meeting.
Well, no
he said
wonder
there's
people want to serve on that board.
Yeah, we're with that one. But anyway, so the brewery that's going to be downtown.
Which one?
Yes. Take a note. There are two.
Yes, there are.
Yep.
Which one are we talking about?
I think the one that's being housed in the old township building.
The old Vets Hall, you mean?
The old Vets Hall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, the township owned it.
Oh, right, but they used to call it was just nominally called the Vets Hall.
Right, picky.
Yes.
Right. So anyway, that's the one I believe that they're putting new equipment in.
Okay.
New vats, that kind of thing.
Well, that's been in process for a long time.
Well, those large vats are hard to get through a 36-inch wide door. Okay, I don't think that happens.
So how did they do it?
I have no idea. Take a note. Okay.
There's a big hole in the roof.
Right, big hole in the roof. No, it's a two-story building. That would be a problem. So
And
anyway, check it out, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me see. Mr. Frost, the director, said that they reviewed the Historical National Register for downtown, that they've applied for it, and it looks like it's going to be a win-win.
DDA has applied for.
DDA has applied for it.
Okay.
Yep. And let me see, Main Street accreditation. They had a meeting in the county, at the county level, and I guess there were 11 participants, which is quite a few people that attended. That's going to be very important, of course, when they redo M24 coming up.
Are they currently accredited?
Yes, they are
Okay.
accredited, and have been actually. There are some things that they need to do, of course, to bring it up in status.
Right, but once MDOT comes through and does their big revamp, then might have to look at it again.
Yeah, now that revamp that they're going to do on M24 also involves, like new water lines and so forth, mains to be put in.
That's right.
And so it's going to be a pretty extensive project. And one of the things the DDA is doing is setting monies aside, for when this happens, because they don't want the businesses downtown to lose any business if they can help it.
Right,
So
right. So
through
people should still
advertising
have
and-
access to their properties
Yes,
and
right.
stuff.
And actually, Joe Frost said that he's going to form a committee and got the approval from this board to do that, which will consist of business people, government people, you residents out there as well can volunteer for it.
You probably get some lessons from what Rochester did.
Right, exactly. And there's others too that, that have been involved in this kind
I
of
think
a
Lake
process.
Orion did something similar a while ago too.
Yeah, but I think they're going to get hit again. I'm not sure.
Who?
Lake Orion.
Oh.
Yep. I think when
After
come
all,
through
they
town,
are on what, M24?
They are on M24. And there may be some changes or, fixes that need to be done there too. But it's going to be.
Just when you thought the traffic jams had stopped.
No, yeah, right. This ought to be interesting. I think they're going to have helicopters. They'll pick up the cars and just move them over. They're going to have to do something because, the way the traffic is.
And Oxford is sort of a little neck down area there, isn't it?
Right. Well, you folks will probably have to go by way of Flint, to get home. I'm not sure.
Get a horse.
No. Actually, MDOT is going to have pretty good planning up to that
Oh, I'm
point.
sure
They're
they
going to
do.
have meetings locally, so you folks stay tuned for that.
They don't like to really disrupt the local communities that much.
Right. Joe Frost said that the debt bonds, you want to bring their attention, need to be paid, and that's over $30,963.
Debt bonds?
Yeah, they're debt bonds.
What do they have? What are those
for
for?
funding, for debts, various debts that the DDA has or the downtown the downtown
So,
businesses have.
do they have cash in the
related.
bank?
Yeah, there's cash. Yep,
And they have debts.
they have debts.
Why don't they pay it off?
Don't you have debts?
Why don't they pay it off?
Why don't you pay yours off?
I don't have any.
Right, there you go. Okay, for you folks that want really easy loans, he's the guy. Okay, I'll leave his phone number and address after.
Just keep it under $5.
Yeah, we could, yeah, right. Code enforcement file. They have a new truck enforcer, person.
Truck enforcer.
Yeah.
The enforcer.
Through the village. Yeah, he's going to enforce, he's going to weigh, it's a new weigh, what do you call it? Guard. That he chases trucks down, checks
That weigh
the weight
too
on
much?
Yeah, they
So-
weigh too much. If they go through town too fast,
Well,
he issues tickets. That
really?
kind of thing. Yep.
I've seen a lot of that lately.
Yes. Well, you're going to see it slow down.
That's
with
right.
This new officer
If
coming on.
if you're headed north out of Oxford, watch your step.
This would be your warning right now. Be careful. Okay. Lynn Gutherson from the NODA organization, she's the director, executive director, and she came in and she was talking to DDA about a trolley that she would like to see, and actually she was kind of checking the waters to see if the village would be interested in having a trolley.
But a trolley to me means something on rails, although I've seen, like for weddings and stuff, they have these kind of antique-y looking things on wheels
Yep.
that look like an old trolley car.
Yep. And
Is that what they're talking
That's
about?
what they're talking about. And I think the route is going to be from the Kmart from Lake Orion.
Oh, so it's a
Meyer.
two community thing.
Two community thing, yep.
Okay.
And she has approached the DDA in Lake Orion as well as the DDA in Oxford to get the feedback as to if they're interested in doing it or not. And we will talk about that when we come back right after this.
Oh.
Marine Corporal Patrick Gallagher came here from Ireland. Serving his new country was what he wanted to do. It was the Vietnam War. He was there. Funny thing about war, protecting your buddies becomes number one. On an early July morning of 1966, in a foxhole near Canlow, in came an enemy grenade. Gallagher quickly kicked it out, and it exploded. Another came in. Gallagher threw himself over it to protect his buddies. It didn't go off. He quickly threw it out. It exploded. He won the Navy Cross and later gave his life in that war. There's a new missile destroyer coming along. It should be called the Patrick Gallagher. With your help, it could be. Go online to Patrick Gallagher USMC petition to lend your support.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are talking about Dave's trolley. I mean, a trolley that's going to be in town.
My
maybe.
trolley?
Right. Well, anyway, the question came up, well, how much are you going to charge for, riding the trolley? And she said $1. Wow, that's really inexpensive.
Is that
well,
for a round trip?
Yeah. Could be. Well, no, per trip. So they're
Oh.
going to drop you off, and then if
I mean,
on the way back,
so
if
it's
you want another ride.
$2. It's
well,
$2.
Well, unless you want to walk,
Oh, right.
right?
Want to get back to wherever you
But
started.
$2 is really inexpensive, though.
That's true.
It costs you more than that.
Well, how
for
many
gas.
stops does it make?
Well, as many as you like.
Ah.
For example, if you say, well, I want to stop at this store. So, okay, we'll let you off. We're going to continue on to Myersville. And, I would like to stop at this store, this location. So people will get off. By the way,
It
it'll
would
handle,
seem like a round trip ticket would be the best way to go because you're going to be dropped off, picked up, dropped off, picked up, eventually find your way back on the other side of the street.
they're,
one-
they're probably going to have coupons of some
Yeah,
type.
but
tickets.
a round trip ticket.
They punch your ticket or whatever.
Yeah,
Could be something like that. I don't know. They're going to work it out.
yeah.
But anyway, so when it came down to it, they said, how much is it going to cost to do this? And she said, $45,000 a year, and we're looking for a way to finance it. And we can't use the tax.
$45,000 a year.
Yeah.
What does that do? Lease it?
No, well, it does the trolley, leases the trolley, and then you have manpower that's got to operate the trolley.
But
So,
you don't own the trolley.
you don't own the trolley. No,
Oh.
I don't think they want to own the trolley.
So the majority of that is in wages and
Actually,
maintenance.
actually, Rod Charles, who's on this board, he spoke up and he said, how about if we just do a trial run? He said, rather than make a total commitment. And Lynn said, yes, that's a possibility. We could do that. And just check it out and see if it's going to work.
Have something called Nota Express.
Yes. Well, Sue Basardet, who's the chairperson, she says she likes the idea, but she said the DDA is currently saving money, of course, for the construction project for downtown, for the businesses. And we just mentioned that a few minutes ago, remember? So she said that would be a concern that she would have. Bill Dunn said, who sits on this board also, he said, what do you want from this board, this evening? And she said, well, I'd like to get some commitment in terms of finances, And he said, well, I don't think we can do that, but we can say we have a major interest in going forward with this, and we can take a vote and a motion and a vote and get it approved that way if we so choose to do that. And she said, that'd be fine. At least it's, sending up the flag that you're interested. So anyway, so they did make a motion, and it was approved, that they're behind the project at this point, but Sue Basardet said there needs to be meetings, further, to
I
discuss
would like
the
to see a
issue.
line item on that 45,000 though.
Yeah, I'm sure that knowing Lynn, they'll have that information, when the time is right. Because you're looking too at, how are you going to finance it? And she said through advertising.
So is this trolley handicap accessible?
Yeah, it would be. I don't think you can have a trolley that's not anymore.
Okay,
Do you think?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it probably would be. But anyway, it looks like it might be a possibility that they can go forward with this. And she said that businesses could buy advertising both inside the trolley and outside the trolley, which would help finance it as well. And she said, if the DDA would like to approach local businesses and see if they'd be interested in doing that. And excuse me, I think it was Sue Basardet that said that that's not something that they would probably want to do.
You could actually have something keyed off by GPS. Now approaching blah, 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 and
You could
you could
do
ask
that.
us to stop.
As a matter of fact, she said there will be an app available on this, the way she perceives
There's
it.
always an app.
Yep. And so if you're waiting for the trolley, you can actually determine where it's at
Oh.
at a particular time and how much of a wait that you'd have to do that.
A trolley tracker.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, Bill Dunn, he suggested, well, we wouldn't be aggressively going after advertising for it. That's something maybe that, NOTA should do. But he said, we can provide you a list of all the businesses here if you want to, take that approach. And Lynn thought that was a pretty good idea too. And anybody who wants to participate, of course, she's looking for volunteers. So it sounds like it's a possibility down the pike.
We'll see.
You see a trolley running up and down. Anyway, it's somewhat nostalgic. and goes with the historical theme that the village has. So
Oh, where
We'll
do
see
they
how it
plan
works.
on, they actually have to acquire this thing, or do they have one?
there's a company, I guess, that handles these kind of things, and Lynn has been discussing the issue with this company,
Okay.
and she's pretty much got it formatted or formulated as to how she thinks it should run.
Are there other towns?
She's open for
Are there other
opinions.
towns that actually use this facility so that we could actually see what a
Yes, there are.
in-process
Yep.
trolley look like?
She indicated that there were,
Okay.
and it seems to be quite successful in these various municipalities. Let me see. Bill Dunn, DDA, provide a list. Yep. He said he'll provide a list. We talked about that.
And at this time of the year, he's checking it twice.
And checking it twice, Christmas time. Hey, that reminds me. You have all your Christmas shopping done yet? We're going to have to skip on to the next thing then. Okay, M24. As I said, they're looking for a task force, so the businesses, won't disappear like in quicksand.
Oh, when the MDOT thing comes
When the
through?
MDOT comes through.
Right.
So that will be formed, and Joe Frost has approached a number of people already to get on this committee. Looking
Call
for
it the SOS committee, save our stores.
yeah, right. So people are interested in saving the downtown and keeping these folks in business. It'd be a good committee to be on. And you, as a resident, can get on this board as well, as I pointed out
It would
earlier.
seem like there'd be two approaches. One would be to have some form of control such that people could easily access the business. The more draconian approach would be to bypass, which the businesses would not like at all.
No, that would be a bad idea. Put that one on the side in your stack of yellow notes. Rod Charles said that.
That one would go up in flames, I think.
Yeah, Rod Charles on this board, he said, if you're going to get people on this board or on this committee, you need to have new faces. He said people, new ideas, that kind of thing. Because it seems like he said over the past, he said you have the same people on these committees and so forth, and they're kind of, in some ways stagnant, and not able to move forward. So you need fresh ideas, and that was his point, and they agreed. That was something. So you folks, you have an opportunity to get your input, by getting involved with this. Budget amendment. They had to make a budget change to the tune of $2,360.50, which it was a part of the facade grant, and they moved it to physical fund account.
Okay.
So that's just a formality. Treasurer's vacancy. Now, I knew we'd get back to this. Didn't I say we would?
Got my pen ready?
Regina Woodson, who is with AAA in town, has a pretty good background in accounting, that kind of thing, and financials. And, of
And
course,
she replaced who?
I'm not sure who she replaced. I think it might have been Ed Hunwick on this board. Yeah, I think it was.
Was it Ed? Or
Ed.
was Rose Bama on this thing at all?
No.
Okay.
But Ed Hunwick was on. I believe he was treasurer for quite a while. So,
Okay.
of course, he didn't choose to stay on the board. So,
Okay.
with that, Regina, good luck to you out there. I think she'll do a good job.
All right.
With that, let's come back with more in just a moment.
Excuse me. Excuse me, are you Santa Claus? I heard you might be him. If you are him, here's my list.
Help the Marines make Christmas possible for less fortunate children. Donate a new toy to Toys for Tots.
Here's Santa Claus.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we've been talking about the DDA meeting, and of course, they went through a summary on the end as to old business for Main Street for the meetings coming up. They, of course, want to talk about enhancement of M24. They want to increase collaboration between organizations such as Chamber of Commerce and so forth. Board encouraged to expand scope of their committees rather than just being certain items, low key. Marketing analysis, very important, and recommended recruitment program. And to reach out more to
New
the
blood.
business community. Yep, new blood. And with new blood, let's talk about the next meeting. That was Addison Township Parks and Recreation.
Oh, gosh. An evergreen favorite of yours.
It is. Well, you know, the snow is going to be coming soon, so they pretty much got all the weed whacking out of the way, and the trout have stopped speckling. So they're in good shape, you know, as far as perch.
And are
perch
hunkered
pond.
down.
Yeah. Dave Kosick is the chairperson. Rod Blazik is the co-chair. Larry Douglas was not present at this particular meeting, but is on the board. And Chuck Peringian, and I did pronounce that correctly, is on that board as well. Does a great job, Chuck does. And Bruce Pearson, of course, sits on this board, but he was out of town again. So I don't know if he's being held hostage by Santa Claus. We'll spread the rumor.
That's right.
Or he's still hunting. We'll just spread the rumor. Or he's just out there shoplifting. We'll spread the rumor. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Wait a minute. I'm supposed to do that. You took my
You
job.
are. Okay. Just confirm it. Okay. Agenda was approved. Minutes were read for October 3rd, and of course they read through the minutes. Supervisor's report, there was none because he wasn't present. Bills, just get this, none. No bills.
Well then.
What government agency have you ever seen that didn't have bills?
Here come to snow.
Yeah, right. Old business. Clean the basement at the old Arnold School. Remember that was one that they were going to have to do? They said, well, we're not going to do anything before spring. So that was kind of put on hold. And the Watershed East parking lot. You remember the light poles they're going to put up?
Yes.
Ah, okay. They've got the foundations in. They're installed. They got the anchor bolts in place. They've run the trench, you know, for the wire. They need to put in the 200 amp service yet, you know, for it, which will be running out of Arnold School. So they're moving right along on it. And they did say, well, we need to get with our park rangers and try to arrange, you know, for them to come on a work related, you know, venture. In other words, gather them all up, shoot the bears into the woods, and bring those rangers up forward.
We know you're volunteers, but we'd like you to volunteer.
Right, you got it. Okay, and remember those cabinets that they put in the restrooms over there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, they got one of them in. The second one will be in by the time you folks hear this. Lake George, let's talk about that. Remember the front door they need to put on?
Okay.
It's a
Garage door?
garage door, overhead door.
Okay.
And they did do that, and by the way, that was done by Overhead Door. And they charge half the cost to install and for the product. So great job, you know. It's nice to have communities come together and help out, and they do it, I guess, quite often.
That's a good
I don't
discount.
know. Yeah, I don't know if Bruce Pearson twists their arm or if he has a relative over there, but
Well,
seems to be working.
Bruce is somewhat of a magician.
He is, okay. And of course, they talked about the dock, and kind of
The
interesting.
Handicap
Handicap,
accessible.
one of those.
Okay.
And anyway, so they did find out that an engineer, which Bruce Pearson recommended, and I think his name was Tom, didn't have a last name, you know, for Tom.
It's a small community.
It's a small
Tom
community.
will do.
Tom, yeah, they know Tom. But anyway, he came over to check out the hill and see what they needed to do. And he said that for every foot of drop, you need a 12-foot run. So he said, it looks like what you're going to have to do, he said, otherwise you're going to require, every 30 feet, you're going to require a landing, which could be kind of expensive. It'd have to be concrete. He said there is a different approach you can take, and it's
Burma
called
Road.
Yeah, no road.
Just a twisty road that goes down
Well,
to it.
close. It's called a zigzag,
Oh,
and also called a switchback path.
that too.
Okay,
Jeez.
excuse me. And a switchback, it does exactly that. Goes down, comes in. Goes down, comes in.
Just like a skier.
Just like a skier. And Oakland County, Twin Lakes, at the Draper Park over there, has exactly that type of a system. And Chuck went over there to check it out, and he said it works pretty well. They have limestone, you know, for the path area. And he said,
Are the turns banked so they can really pick up a little speed? No.
I don't know. You want to shoot them out of the cannon at the end. But Chuck said interesting enough, they have a floating dock. He said they're not putting posts in. He said, and that is a handicapped dock also. So he said they should review that also as a possibility, because it would be less construction cost involved, you know, with a floating dock. So they're going to look into that as well. So they haven't made any commitments, you know, over there at Lake George yet, but a lot of ideas floating around. Let me see, sign at Lake George. They said, well, we're still working on that one. We'll set it aside, probably won't do much before spring on that one. New business.
Seems like a lot of things are being put on ice.
Yeah, and guess what, speaking of ice, that's what they're gonna do with the willow tree. Remember that big willow tree we talked about at the last meeting?
They're
on
going to
Lake
wait till
George?
they can go out to it?
Yep. And they said, hey, good idea, let's wait till January. He said, you think the ice will be thick enough then? They said, sure, should be. We'll send Charlie out and see if he sinks.
That depends on global warming.
Yeah, if Chuck can make it out there and he don't drown, we'll go ahead and cut the tree down. So, yeah, let Chuck do it. Anyway, he probably would do it, but he'd have a rope tied to himself, and then of course he wouldn't tie it to the willow tree. That would be bad news.
No.
So anyway, so they're going to wait till the ice is there, and then they're going to cut it down. So that they've approved. Going to be done in January, and they said they would bring the again the rangers in as a work crew to
I
make
see.
sure that they can tote this tree away when they get it cut down. So in
You're
preparation
going to
for
be toting it
springtime.
across the lake?
Well, it's close to where the dock is going to be. So they need to get it out of there, and it's pretty much dead, you know. So they'll find ways to haul it out of there, and they do need the assistance. So you folks out there, if you want to help, they can always use additional rangers too.
Yeah, usually they trim a tree down before they actually take the trunk down anyhow.
Yeah, usually. I don't know what they're going to do here though, because it's a dead tree. Would you
Oh.
climb a dead tree and cut limbs off?
Well, we'd find out how dead it is.
You would. I saw how dead you would be too.
Well,
Right, not a good idea. So anyway,
think about the law of gravity.
yeah, I don't think it'll matter which way it falls, because there's no dock in there yet or anything.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, just cut it down and let her go, and then wherever it lands, try to tote it away.
Good.
You have use for a dead tree? They can bring it over to your place.
No.
No? Okay. Willow can't really burn it. I mean,
Why not?
it's not good burning wood.
Doesn't have to be good, it just burns.
Well, if you're doing a picnic
You're not
or
going to heat
something-
your home with it.
Right. Even the bears won't use a dead tree for some reason. It's got to be a live tree, you know. You see the scratches on the side of the tree when they, yeah, anyway. That's another
means they're
story.
that means you're up the tree and they're after you.
Yeah, either that or there's a porcupine chasing them up a tree,
I see.
something along that line. Could be. Anyway, public forum, they said, are there any questions? And the question that they had from the audience was, those light poles that you're going to be putting in, how tall are they? I don't know if it makes that much difference, but
Well,
they replied 10 to 12 feet. But they will measure them after the meeting.
is that like a standard light pole?
Yeah,
Or is that a short
yeah.
one?
It's just like the ones in the main parking lot that they have at Addison Township, at the hall, the new ones they put in.
Ah,
Have you checked them out?
no.
They're pretty nice lights.
Okay.
I think Bruce Pearson got those too. So, good deal. Bruce sees something there that he might be able to use, and he just drags it out. Huh?
What was the concern about the height?
There shouldn't be any concern. The higher the light, the better your...
No, I mean,
Parking lot.
the person that asked the question obviously had something on
He
his
was
mind.
curious,
Okay.
just curious.
No.
You do that from time to time,
Yes, I do.
I've noticed. Okay.
Sometimes you do.
Well, that's Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
What's going on?
Well, we do have meetings on 12/13 at 6:30, the Village of Oxford Council, and on that same day, the Addison Township Planning Commission at 6 o'clock, and at 6:30 that same day, Oxford Board of Education will be meeting at Lakeville Elementary. On 12/14 at 7 o'clock, the Oxford Township Board of Trustees, and at 12/16 at 7 o'clock, the Village of Leonard Planning Commission, and earlier that day at 4:30, the North Oakland Transportation Authority, or NOTA, will be meeting. And at 12:19, at 6 p.m., the Village of Oxford DDA, and at 6 p.m. that day, Addison Township Board of Trustees, and on 12:20 at 7 p.m., the Village of Oxford Planning Commission.
You will want to attend these meetings.
There are meetings and meetings and meetings.
Until next time, we'll catch you right here.
See you then.